Well, we're on to day 2 of the One World Tantra Festival, and so far the first day has been absolutely amazing. I think we've almost doubled the number of participants just in the last day, and that's really exciting to me. I'm managing a team of 50 volunteers, and we had a few glitches, but I'd say overall things are running pretty smooth, so I'm pretty psyched about that. So I don't have long to do a really long meditation today, so I'm just going to dive right in to the card draw, and we're going to go ahead and get going with this because I got a workshop to get to at 11. So let's just see what the cards have in store for us today. Somewhere over here. I think this is the card. You haven't gotten this one yet. New Moon Promise. See, there's a picture of a couple sitting there at sunset, and that new moon, just that little sliver of a moon in the sky. Let's look at what it has to say. After the protest last night, that was pretty intensive. We've had volunteers unable to make their shifts because they're stuck in the middle of the madness in LA and New York. My hearts and minds with everyone out there. I just want everyone to stay safe, and it's so important that those of us who have the privilege of having white skin be willing to stand with our brothers and sisters, be willing to speak out for what is right. So I'm supporting all of those in the protests, and I'm also reminding everyone that protests don't need to be violent. And I thoroughly believe that those who are bringing violence to the protests are not the ones who are standing with our brothers and sisters. They're the white supremacists who are seeking to discredit and sow discontent. So just remember that. So anyway, let's get on with the card. New Moon Promise. Gazing at the sliver of the new moon smiling down upon them, the couple embraces each other, welcoming the promise of their love. The fading sun drapes the clouds and waters with its tinge of luminescence as the crescent opens its arms to the nearby planet Venus, named after the Roman goddess of love. This is a time for manifestation, beginnings, and renewal, with the promise that our desires will come to fruition. Here, Grandmother Moon initiates another lunar cycle, moving from darkness to fullness and back again over approximately 1 month. Her promise of what is to come is embedded in the first glimmer of her light as she emerges from behind the curtain of darkness that had recently encompassed her. It is a promise that has been kept for as long as she has existed. This is the time to launch a project, a new relationship, or renew something that has been put aside for a later date. With your intention and willingness to allow a full cycle to complete itself, that which you desire will manifest. The seed of that idea is ready to emerge from the darkness of your subconscious into your full awareness. The next step is to put into action what is required to fully realize this idea. A promise has 2 meanings. It can be a commitment and guarantee to yourself or someone else that a particular thing will happen, or it can imply that something specific is expected to happen. When your will is aligned with the will of Spirit and your intention is focused upon what you wish to have happen, there will be fulfillment and the promise is kept. I like that card. It means something new is coming, something new is being birthed. And I do feel that it's appropriate in this time because in so many ways last night was a time of darkness. It was a time of violence in the streets, of curfews, of people being told to stay in their homes to try to keep the violence down. The last few days have been going into this period of darkness. And it's like this, where we are recognizing the shadows in our society. I really believe that whether it's as an individual or as a collective, we have to face our shadows. And this shadow of the way we treat other races in our society is a deep, dark shadow. And these protests are recognizing that. And it's in recognizing that and standing up and doing something about it that we open the door to a new way of being collectively, a new way of being as a society. Because it's important to go within and to focus and to make sure that you're in alignment with yourself. But it's also important to ground that into reality and to take a stand for what you know is right. We, as Tantra providers, as teachers, as healers, we have a responsibility to use our gifts to speak out, to raise the consciousness of the collective, to stand with our brothers and sisters and not remain silent. It doesn't matter if you're out on the streets protesting or if you're speaking out on social media or what, as long as you're doing something, using your voice. I have friends who have taken rubber bullets. I have friends who have been maced in the face. I have lost some of my volunteers because they're in the middle of that violence. And we cannot afford as a society to turn the other cheek, to look the other way. We who have the privilege of being born with white skin out of some fluke, we have to stand up for our brothers and sisters, because it is only an accident that I was born into this body. I could have been born into a body of another color, and so could you. We are all one. I've wasted a lot of the time. We're not going to have a very short meditation now, but really, think about it. So just going within, just slowing your breathing down. Let's have our hands down on our knees today to really ground in. To ground into the reality that we are all one. Connecting down into the earth, sending your grounding cord deep, deep, deep into the Mother Earth. Snaking all the way down through the floor, through the foundation of your house, into the ground, past the rocks and the dirt and the earthworms, all the way into the center of the earth. Plugging that grounding cord into that crystal in the center of the earth. And then inhale, pulling that energy up in through your grounding cord, in through your first chakra, your second chakra, your third chakra, and all the way into your heart. And then exhaling. Again, pulling that energy up into your heart. And on the exhale, sending that energy up through your throat. And seeing it cascade out around you, out the top of your head. Pulling that energy up again through the ground, your root, into your heart. Exhaling, seeing that energy go through your throat, your third eye, and cascading out the top of your head as the 1,000 petal lotus blooms open. Seeing that energy just cascade all around you. Pulling that energy up in through your root, into your heart. Holding it at the top, feeling your heart blossom open as you relax your shoulders, allowing your chest to come forward and open. And on the exhale, sounding as you see that light erupt out the top of your head and cascade all around you. Pulling that energy up in through your root, through your second, feeling your energy flow, pulling the energy into the third, feeling your fire kindled, and into your heart. Feeling your heart expand, and on the exhale, sounding as you feel your third eye opening and that energy cascading all around you. One more time, pulling that energy up all the way into your heart. And cascading it out your head one more time, seeing that that toroidal field all around you that's been generated by your energy. I want you to just envision that energetic field. I want you to see it just maybe like rainbow light, and maybe use your hands to fill in any areas, to smooth out any areas where the energy's been ruffled or disrupted by all that's been going on, all that you've been experiencing. Now I want you to just imagine that you're creating a rose, and you're just going to put that rose into your energy field, just right in front of you. And as you breathe in, I want you to just see all of that chaos that's outside of your bubble. Just any chaos that's coming at you is just going into that rose, and that rose is just taking that energy and just recycling in it, and it's blooming open. And on each inhale, the rose takes in that energy, and on the exhale, your own energy is just purified and cleansed. And with every breath, I want you to see that that rose is just taking in any energy that's not yours, any energy that you don't want, any energy from the chaos outside you. And it's just cleansing it and purifying it, so that inside your bubble, all of that energy inside your bubble is yours. And you have full sovereignty within your bubble. None of that energy going on outside you has the power to control you. Inside your bubble, you have full sovereignty. So on every inhale, you're pulling that energy up in from the ground. You're allowing the cosmic energy from the cosmic grid to come down through your head. You're feeling the earth energy and the cosmic energy mixing in your heart. And you're just seeing that energy within your bubble just cleansing and being purified. And anything that's not yours is just going into the rose, to be recycled, reclaimed. And all the energy, the rest of the universe is allowed to have its own energy. Whatever's going on out there, that belongs to someone else. It's not yours. And see it just going into the rose as the rose protects you and cleanses your energy field. I want you to just see all of that chaos and all of that violence and the fires and the police, all of that energy, it's just going into the rose. And the rose is just taking that energy and it's transmuting it and it's blooming and it's becoming ever and ever more beautiful, because this is a time of transformation. And that rose is transforming that chaotic energy, and you're coming to just this still, quiet place within you, connecting into your heart, going to that still, quiet space within where you know that you are sovereign over your own space and your own energy field, and none of that is yours. But I want you to feel deep down inside of you. I want you to feel in your third chakra the fire. You just kindle that fire. Maybe kindle a little bit of that righteous anger to stand for what is right, what you know is right. I want you to open your heart to realize that we are all connected, we are all one, and that what happens to our brother or sister, it impacts the collective as a whole. And I want you to feel into your throat chakra and realize that you have a voice, and that you have the power to use your voice for good. And that when you stay aligned and connected and you know who you are, that you have the power to use your voice. And that when you are aligned in your heart and moving from your heart space and choosing love over fear, that energy is more powerful than the fear that's raging all around you. So within your bubble, you are protected. You are sovereign, and you can use your voice, and that energy radiates out into the universe. It radiates out to those around you, and they can feel your presence. They can feel your energy. And you have the power to influence others. You have the power to help others come back to themselves. You have the power to be a radiant light that shines in the darkness, that reminds others of who they truly are, that reminds others that we are all one, that we are all connected, and that what happens to one ripples out. Those who stand in the light have the ability to impact hundreds, thousands. So coming back into yourself, feeling yourself fully aligned and connected, nourished by the earth's energy, nourished by the cosmic energy, sovereign over your own space, your own voice, connected to your heart, guided by those guides who watch over you every single day. Knowing that you will know the right things to say and how to use your power for good. To bring healing, to bring peace, to bring love. To calm the madness around. Now as you see that beautiful rose blooming before you, I want you to be reminded of the power of your voice, the power of your example in the world. And since that rose has taken in so much energy from the outside, we're going to send that rose up, 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 up into the air. And I want you to see that rose explode in a spark of light, with sparks cascading all around as we transmute that violence into light. And all that energy gets recycled, and all of your energy comes back to you. One more time, I want you to see that rainbow field all around you, that aura, knowing that you are sovereign within your space, and you're going to create a new rose. I'm going to put a new rose right in front of you. And you're going to set that rose there for the rest of the day, and that rose is going to take on any energy that is not yours. Within your bubble, you are sovereign. You're grounded. You will keep your center. You will use your words for good. You will have the courage to speak out while you remain in your heart, connected to love, connected to your higher self, guided by your inner knowing. Feeling strong, feeling calm, feeling protected. Thanking your guides for watching over you this day. Bringing your hands to your heart. Thanking yourself for showing up here, for doing the work. For never giving up. On the inhale, pulling that breath in, and on the exhale, we're going to sound the primordial sound of Om. Om. Inhale. Thank you for joining me today.